Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video folks. Today we are predicting the 2025 Grand Slam of Darts. Gets underway tomorrow. We are doing a preview and predictions for the Grand Slam of Darts. So the Grand Slam of Darts is not only one of the most popular majors on the calendar, but also a key indicator as to who is peaking at just at the right time ahead of the World Championship. The last three winners of this event, Michael Smith, Luke Humphries and Luke Littler, all followed up their Wolverhampton success by lifting the greatest prize in darts roughly 6 weeks later. Anyone who shines here is clearly peaking at the right time. Given that the nature of the unique qualifying criteria, there are plenty of players in this field who aren't given much hope by the bookies, as we are continuating reminded at this crazy world darts anything is possible. Just ask Martin Lukeman, who incredibly reached the final here 12 months ago as a massive underdog before being dismantled by a squinish field Littler. But in this preview I will look at each group in turn with seasonal statistics for every player as well as predictions who will make the knockout stages. All group games, best of 9 legs, top 2 qualify for the knockout stages. Two-way points in tie in any position. The player with the best leg difference will finish higher. If two players are still level, then the winner of the match between them will progress, but there is a potential 9-dart shootout should 3 or more players be tied on points and leg difference. In Group A, Luke Humphries, Nathan Aspinall, Michael Smith and Alex Spellman. Before we get into YouTube channel, please hit the unsubscribe button. It's great to see Michael Smith back on the big stage again after a year of injury troubles. Have seen him tumbling down the rankings, out of the qualification picture for all the majors since the UK Open back in March. 2022 Grand Slam champion felt everyone had forgotten his name, but the social media reaction to his last gap qualification for this event should reassure him that we all still very much remember what he's achieved, but what he's capable of. Last week Michael Smith said he felt like no one even remembers my name, and today he's qualified for the Grand Slam for his first TV event since March. Really happy for him. As much as I say to see a fairy tale run for Bullyboy, unfortunately I'm going to leave my head rule him my heart on this one. Also I predictable by forecasting a 2-1 finish in order for Luke Humphries and Nathan Aspinall. Coolhan obviously boosted extremely impressive seasonal stats as well as the Horn. That includes the Premier League, while he's also got that extra motivation of hanging on to his #1 spot for another week at least. Nathan Aspinall, he's playing the best darts for a long time with 3 titles on the European Tour as well as some encouraging runs to the big stage. He knows a good run in Wolverhampton will see him climb up the rankings and puts himself firmly in the picture for another Premier League call-up. Of course, if he does have a good run at the Worlds, but over a short format, I wouldn't surprise to see a very minor upset when it comes to a group stage standings with Aspinall coming out on top. But I'm going for Humphries to win the group, and Michael Smith to come runner-up. Group B, Chris Dobey, Damon Heta, Martin Lukeman and Jurgen van der Velde. Chris Dobey has fallen well out of the conversation for a Premier League call-up next season due to a string of early exits in all the rank majors since reaching the World Championship semi-finals. But away from TV cameras, he's won 3 Players' Championship titles, and his average of 97.6 since the start of September puts him in the top 5 on the circuit in that time frame. In some ways, he could say he's left it late in the day to get back into everyone's thinking, but ultimately this is the most important stage of the season, and maybe he's just timing his run to perfection. Hollywood is the form player in this group, and it's not. If anyone else can boost any big TV runs in 2025, I'm pretty strong on Dobey topping his group ahead of Damon Heta. So the Aussie has enjoyed a pretty good year without achieving what he would have hoped for in the majors, but he should have too much for Martin Lukeman, who's not really built on that incredible run to the final last year, but I wouldn't even be surprised if the rising star Jurgen van der Velde, who has won 3 titles across development and challenge tour this season, is able to pick up a win against him to finish 3rd or 4th, of course. Group C, Stephen Bunting, Martin Schindler, Luke Woodhouse and Alexis Toilo. Stephen Bunting would probably give himself 7 out of 10 of the season so far, having won plenty of titles but not really delivering the goods on the major stages. His seasonal statistics, however, are up there with the very best, and it's hard to imagine him going home early in Wolverhampton. When you consider how he compares to his Group C rivals, we can't completely discounted Asian Tour star Alexis Toilo if he entertains us like he did at the Ali Pali last year. But it's probably going to be a battle between Luke Woodhouse and Martin Schindler for runners-up spot. As consistent Schindler has been on the Pro Tour and the European Tour, but he just never seems to produce his best on the major stage. But he's never actually been out of the groups in 5 previous outings. But he will sense this could be the year he finally breaks his curse, and while Woodhouse is continuing his upward curve with a couple of finals on the Pro Tour and the European Tour in recent months, but the German can get the job done. Bunting to win Group C and Schindler to come runner-up. Group D, Daryl Gurney, Gerwyn Price, James Wade, Ricky Evans and Stefan Belmont. Gerwyn Price may well be regarded as one of the sport's biggest box office stars. There is a growing concern that he faces a possibility of being left out on the Premier League unless he picks up one of the 3 remaining majors. He's won 6 titles this year, but there has been no success in the ranking majors. Last time he got his hands on one of those, the 2021 Grand Slam of Darts. The Iceman has also raised some concerns over his weight loss this year, but he's feeling better than from the physical and health point of view, but the fact he's still picking up Pro Tour titles, producing a high level of stats, proves it's not negatively affecting his technique. His average since the start of September is 97.16. That puts him 6th overall. His game is there. It's just about rediscovering his magic touch in every clutch moments on the big stage. He will look back on that World Grand Prix quarter-final with Littler as what's that, got away with that, and that could change the complexion of this entire season. There is another prime opportunity for him in the location that he loves with 3 Grand Slam titles to his name. And while he's going to be in the opposite half of the draw to Luke Littler, if he makes the knockout stages, which bodes well for his chances. So not only I do fancy him to sail through this group, but I'm going to back him for the title at the each way prices. James Wade should join him in knockout stages, but having saved most of his best starts this season for majors, reaching 2 finals at the UK Open and the World Match Play, as well as a decent run to the European Championship quarterfinals. The machine is up to world number 5 in the world, but also vying for a Premier League spot. Has an incredible record at this event without winning it, but having reached 3 finals, 2 additional semi-finals, while he's only failed to reach knockout stages once in 17 previous appearances. I'm going for Price to win the group, and I've got a sneaky feeling that Ricky Evans to become runner-up. Group E, defending champion Luke Littler, Karel Sedlacek, Daryl Gurney and Connor Scott. There are no uncertainties in darts, but if Luke Littler fails to get out of this group, even over the best of 9 leg matches, it really should be an almighty shock. I don't see that happening, but even finishing runner-up will be a surprise. So I think we can put a line through this group as one to find much value out of it. Nobody needs any more information about why Littler is clear favourite for the title, having won 4 of the PDC's premier events in 2025, reaching the final in 2 others. But his early exit in the European Championship proves he's still a human. As for who is joining him in the knockout stages for this group, I can sense like a situation where Daryl Gurney, Connor Scott, Karel Sedlacek, all end up on 2 points, but I feel it's a bit of a lottery to make a solid call. But in situations like this, it should be worth going for an outsider of 3. Sedlacek, the price is probably about right. So I'm going for Littler to win the group and Scott to become runner-up. Group F, Jan van Veen, Wessel Nijman, Josh Rock and Lisa Ashton. Jan van Veen, Wessel Nijman and Josh Rock must be wondering that they have done wrong to end up in the group of death for the second year in a row. All 3 of them were grouped together alongside Stephen Bunting 12 months ago, and with Rock and Nijman both departing despite producing ridiculous averages in some incredible matches. In fact, Nijman averaged 106, 105, 111 in this 3 games and lost a lot. Absolutely no disrespect to Lisa Ashton, but given the golfer's inability, seasonal stats at least, it's more than a 3-way shootout for 2 spots this time rather than 4. Van Veen topped the group with 3 wins 12 months ago. Obviously now arrives in Wolverhampton as even more confident major champion after his success at the European Championship. The matter in which he bounced back from missing title darts, then to win a deciding leg against Luke Humphries shows tremendous character. This is just the start. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Dutch youngster, who is averaging just shy of 100 since the start of September in all competitions so far. Here, this is such a tough group. That would be a disgrace to fall short of qualification. And Rock has also enjoyed a superb season and will probably be in the Premier League alongside Van Veen next year, while Nijman won the last Players' Championship event of the season last week, a day after reaching the semi-final and a day before cruising through the Grand Slam qualifying event. In total, he's won 16 of his last 17 matches, while none of those have been on the big stage. This could be an opportunity to finally deliver on TV, and he's worth small bet as the prices. But I'm going for Van Veen to win the group and Nijman and Wessel Nijman to become runner-up. Group C, Michael van Gerwen, Gary Anderson, Nico Sprinter and Bo Grease. All eyes will be on Bo Grease in Group G. And 2 blockbusters matches against Michael van Gerwen and Gary Anderson. There's no disrespect rising star Nico Sprinter, of course, but Grease versus 2 absolutely legends of the game as an exciting, this could possibly get her at this stage of her career. Grease has not only dominated the women's series this year with 86 consecutive victories that brought her incredible 13 titles in a row, she's also picked up wins on both Development Tour and Challenge Tour to take overall tally to a whopping 21 as well, hitting the headlines for her sensational last leg win over Luke Littler in the World Youth Championship semi-finals. 100 plus averages are getting far more frequent for her, and he's certainly relishing the toughest of challenges, as we saw 105.02 against Littler earlier this month. Although she's yet to get through the group stage in 2 previous outings, she came agonisingly close in 2023 when losing the last leg decider to Damon Hatter, while 12 months ago she did at least pick up 5-1 win over Cameron Menzies. I think she will win again, possibly even 2, and qualify for the knockout stage for the first time in her career. As for who misses out, I fear for Anderson's chances of performing well here, given his lack of recent form and struggles on the big stage since 2024 Grand Slam, when he came so close to reaching the final. That came at the end of a really good season. However, whether it hasn't been so great, but it seems so he's running out of steam now compared to the younger, hungrier players. Sprinter is one of those who certainly isn't without a chance of progressing, but I'm favouring Michael van Gerwen, who has played to a higher level in the latter half of the season, despite his problems away from the hockey. Despite not qualifying for the European Championships because he was on holiday in Dubai. But Van Gerwen, he beat Luke Littler in the World Series of Darts finals in September, also reached the last 4 of the European Championships, where he was undone by the eventual winner, Gian Van Veen, in the semis. And Group H, Johnny Clayton, Danny Noppert, Lucas Vennick and Cam Crabtree. All logic points to Johnny Clayton and Danny Noppert progressing from this group, given their wealth of the big stage form and experience. Noppert may not have picked up any titles this year, but he's been particularly strong in majors having reached 3 semi-finals at the World Masters, World Grand Prix and the European Championship. Johnny Clayton can rise him to 3 semi-finals and a final at the World Masters, which he narrowly lost to Luke Humphries, while he also picked up a couple of non-televised titles. Cam Crabtree is certainly a bright prospect for the future, judging from his fine performances on the development tour and also on the Pro Tour circuit. So in this short format, I fancy his chances of giving a good account of himself. But that same could be said for Lucas Vennick. But overall, I'm going for the two big guns with Noppert top in the standings and Clayton to come runner-up. That's my predictions then for 2025 Grand Slam of Darts. Who will lift the Eric Bristow Trophy?